Flopsy and the Easter Bunny Olympics, part 21 of 40. Still wearing my orange-colored pair of burdened endurance baskets with their 597 grams of pain, I stood as near the 2,000-meter race finish line as race officials allowed. Looking out of the track, my eyes and ears searched for Bustle as I waited anxiously. Waiting, I prayed for Bustle to be all right, that she'd be able to complete her race and continue with the games. I knew it was entirely because of me that her final lap of our most difficult event was far harder than it should have been. I also prayed for forgiveness. I prayed for forgiveness because I knew I had inadvertently caused my new friend to go down hard when I'd allowed my anger and ego to cloud my judgment. My decision to put my desire for revenge against Woundwort ahead of the safety of my fellow Easter Bunny Games competitors had caused her fall, and for this I was truly sorry. I knew that acting out on my anger had endangered every bunny who happened to have had the bad luck of being in the way of my goal, and that my actions were responsible for injuring my friend. I longed to be able to say that what I'd done was an accident, but I knew better. Though I had not crashed into my friend on purpose, calling the result of my recklessness an accident would be untruthful. So the best I could do was to know that though I was responsible for what had happened, Bustle's injuries had absolutely been caused inadvertently. Though a steady stream of racers continued to cross the finish line, the number of racers whose baskets were yellow seemed far fewer as more and more green and even a few bunnies burdened with blue baskets were making their way to the finish line with looks that combined relief with exultation. It had been over a minute since I'd finished my race, and I knew that had I not crashed into Bustle and injured her, that she would easily have completed her final 250-meter lap in two-thirds the time I'd stood waiting. Close at hand, but off the track proper, I stood straining my eyes and ears in order to see and hear Bustle's approach when the main Jumbotron screen flashed to a scene of Bustle nearing the finish line. The screen presented a close-up of Bustle, her face drawn in a display of absolute determination as she limped along ferociously. "Does and box!" Tempestus Lacus's voice blared over the public address system. "Please give your attention to the courageous young doe who refused to surrender to the evil assault that now forces her to limp painfully along on her final lap of our most grueling event, the 2,000-meter burdened endurance race. Let's all give this fine young doe, one Bustle by name, who hails from way west over Nadir, the paw-stomping applause she deserves as she continues to fight, refusing to succumb to so-called Easter Bunny contenders' malicious attack upon her, and completes her race despite being the victim of the very sort who wish to adulterate and diminish the fine 2,000-year-old tradition of the Easter Games. Let's hear some paw stomping for our courageous finisher, Bustle!" Lacus exclaimed, his final word delivered as Bustle came into sight in front of me. Waiting close at paw, my eyes on Bustle, I nearly missed the close-up picture of me that momentarily flashed on the Jumbotron. As Bustle approached, then saw me waiting, she rushed over for an embrace and nose kiss, a scene the Jumbotron conveniently cut away from. "Are you all right?" I whispered in her ear. "I'm so sorry. It was all my fault," I managed to croak out. Yes, I'm all right," she whispered in my ear. "I'm all right. I'll be all right. You didn't do it on purpose. There's risk in the games. Come on, Flopsy. Let's get these horrid baskets off, shall we?" she asked, nose-kissing me one more time as I silently nodded, then followed behind, her generous words and loving action breaking my heart with gratitude.